It's our very first Love Live Music Day here on Newport City Radio. We've got so many great guests throughout the day, and I'm sat on the sofa with one right now. I've got Tom Murray with me. Good afternoon. How are you? It's nice to chat to you.
Nice to chat to you too.
If you can tell by the accent, obviously you're not from Newport. Why? What was the decision behind coming here to Wales, to sunny Wales, as we look outside the window here at Newport City Radio?
I'm from Belfast, and I can guarantee you Wales is a lot sunnier than Belfast any time of the year. But I came over here many, many, many years ago, in the late 90s. And I think it's fair to say I fell in love with Wales. And I just love the people, and I love the culture. And I had a family, and that's all the motivation I needed.
We're here today, obviously, to celebrate the Newport music scene, the great scene that we have here in our city. What do you make of the current scene?
Ooh, politics. I think that the scene at the minute has suffered from years of economic. There hasn't been enough economic investment into the cities, into the pub culture, into musicians, into the arts. It's all been very, very slowly withdrawn just over the years. And I think we've got to a point now where I think there's starting to be a certain level of turnaround. Whereas we're not getting any more money, but there's such a hunger for music and the arts in general across the scope, especially among the working classes. There's so much voices that now are saying that they need to be heard. There's a growing punk scene. There's always been a steady folk scene, and it's all about people saying about how difficult things are and how it could be better. And I see that as a sign of hope. The revolution has started technically.
And I suppose you kind of see it as both a musician and a promoter, obviously, with the Mountain Song Revival as well, don't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, the whole point of the Mountain Song Revival was to create a space for songwriters, to create a platform for songwriters, because as many songwriters will understand that it's not enough just getting gigs. It's about building up that audience base and that fan base, and so you can get repeated gigs. And not everybody wants to go out and play Oasis covers, and not everybody wants to go out and listen to Oasis covers, and that's no disrespect to people who do, but it's also about having new voices and having new sounds and having something more interesting to listen to than just rehashing what was going on in the 90s.
And talking of the Mountain Song Revival, I believe you have a couple of shows you'd like to promote.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I am playing. We've got quite a few gigs throughout April. So I'm playing on the 10th of April with Tom Crow and CGM. I haven't met Tom yet, but I did play with CGM up in Borton's a few weeks ago. Absolutely brilliant.
Where was that?
In Borton's in Bargoed. I think they were a Love Live Music Award winner last year.
They were best venue, yeah.
Yeah. The Dragonfly, on the 3rd of April, the Dragonfly's got Moonface and Mage, Joe Kelly and Chris Saunders. Fork in Tune on the 3rd of April has Tangle Jack, Louise and the Feathers and Hugh James. And also on the 3rd of April, we have Ophelia's Beard, Lesia Clark, and a third artist we haven't got to confirm yet.
Nice, nice.
So we are very, very busy, and we've got gigs booked in right the way through to September.
When I was doing my research for today, I was going through your Instagram page, and I noticed you you did some originals, but also you mentioned covers. You recorded yourself performing some covers.
Yep.
How fun were they to do?
I love doing covers, but I love doing a little twist on the cover. So I like to put my own sort of fingerprint on it. I do a cover of Billy Idol's Rebel Yell, but it's all acoustic, and I actually use a completely different chord pattern, which is more akin to Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
Okay.
So it's a weird mashup of Rick Astley and Billy Idol. with me in the middle.
Would you like to do some more of them?
Absolutely. I do like Tainted Love, but it's trying to find interesting ways to do something that everybody's recognized, but at the same time keep it recognizable, so people go, oh yeah, I know what that one is. I remember that song. Why is he playing it like that? That's so weird.
I suppose you could get some absolute corkers out of doing it that way.
My daughter, who I will say is just turned 20 years old, she prefers my version of Rebel Yell to the original. So to me, that says everything. Yeah.
Would you like to get that recorded maybe one day?
Possibly, but I don't know if I can afford the rights.
I'm sure they'd cost a pretty penny.
Yeah.
You mentioned someone earlier, Joe Kelly, and he's involved with the Phyllis Moore, the Modern Song Revival. Played a few shows there. You've played a few shows there.
Yep.
It's a pretty unique venue, isn't it?
It's a very unique venue. But the sound, because you've got everything's all tiled. I'm sure everybody aware it was a gentleman's toilet in Victorian times. But because of the way it was built, the sound that you can get there whenever you're playing live, especially with an acoustic instrument, it's like you've got natural reverb just all around you, and it's just a really lovely place to play. And I do like playing small intimate venues. I like being able to engage with the audience and get the reactions and feed off that. I feel like it adds something to the performance.
A bit more intimate.
Absolutely. You can't get intimate enough.
No.
Sort of. But let's not go there.
Especially at the Phyllis Board. And I suppose that kind of defines Newport in a way, the small, intimate venues, because you've also got something like the Cellar Door, which you've played at quite a few times. And, you know, Le Pub isn't, even though it's probably the premier venue in Newport, it's still quite intimate, isn't it? So do you think that defines what Newport music venues are like, a small, intimate?
I think that's what defines what the music, the live music scene is at the minute. I mean, throughout the UK, because you've got these huge bands taking over stadiums and charging huge amounts of money to go and see them, and that's okay if that's what you're into. But it's so much nicer to be able to come into a small venue, meet the artist, have a chat with them, have a drink with them, engage in conversation, get to know that person, rather than everything be sort of 15, 20 feet away from everybody and going, and they only get to see them at the merch stall. I much prefer being able to engage in a conversation. It's for me, it makes the more of the performance than just the music. It's an integral part of the performance.
Also, when I was doing my research into this, you're raising money for Mind, the mental health charity.
Yep,
Just how important is that going to be for you?
I think it's fair to say we all have our dark days. And I've gone through some pretty tough times, particularly through my divorce. And if it wasn't for, I volunteered at Mind for about almost 2 years. And if it wasn't for their support, I probably wouldn't be where I am now. And it's just, I feel very strongly that when you've got issues like mental health issues and maybe you're on the spectrum somewhere, have an established routine. That's what helped me. I needed to have established routine. I needed to be able to get up and know that I was going out somewhere and not just hiding under my duvet and just sort of wish the world away. I needed to have something to do, and that's how I got myself back on my feet again.
And you're raising money for your birthday as well. That's a pretty selfless thing to do, people might say.
I don't know. I think that's me just jumping on the bandwagon because so many other people are doing things like that, and I thought, I feel like I'm missing out. But I have done work with Mind before, and I have raised money for Mind specifically before. When I was a few years ago, I performed at a gig in Abergavenny. I can't remember. It's the small theatre. I can't remember the name of it. But we had such an amazing night, and there was a really good audience there, and there were people coming up and singing along on the stage. There's videos somewhere of it, but all that was to raise money for Mind. So Mind actually has plays pretty close for me.
Yes. Last one from me. Where can people go to find out more information about you, and where can people go to get tickets for Mountain Song Revival?
Mountain Song Revival has Instagram and Facebook pages. Just look up Mountain Song Revival. If you follow me, Irish Tom Music, or just Tom Murray, there will always be posts linking to either my upcoming gigs or any Mountain Song Revival gigs, and you can follow those links back to their pages easily enough. I'm not big on the social media. I do the basics. I'll admit to that. I have a very much neglected Instagram page, which it's like my ADHD brain. It's got a little bit of D&D and a little bit of music and a little bit of sketch. It's all everything. Yeah, it's just hodgepodge.
Well, thank you so much for chatting to us. This is Newport City Radio's Love Live Music Day.